Little swan over there. Bark, 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 bark.
Hey guys, what's going on? So we're back with another video. We're doing something a little bit different today. Somebody who I want to introduce to the channel. You know, I think our next video is not going to be the focus. I think we're doing something a little bit different.
That is a Focus.
Oh, that is true. It does have a Ford Focus. Wow.
Ford Focus.
We really have a problem with the Ford Focus.
So you didn't lie. You told them.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is where I start vlogging. Is that what it's called?
Yes. Yes.
So I guess we're about to do a thing. This is our family race car, the Jim O'Brien and Sons Engineering NEMA Light. We're fresh off our best finish in 40 years. We're going to start, we got a lot of friends and family all over the country that don't get to see what we're doing. So DJ's letting in Ryan and Aiden letting us onto their channel. So I guess we're going to vlog. But first things first, we got a lot of work to do today to get ready for the Octoberfest at Lee Speedway next weekend. So let's get to work, guys.
All right, I'll let you tell them what we're doing there. Vlog
All right,
master.
so it's a vlogger. I am a vlogger now. All right, so we're changing the Wicker Bill. We just came off a tight quarter-mile track where we needed a lot of downforce in the rear going into the corner. The rule is 2 inches on the Wicker Bill. However, we're going over to Lee Speedway, bigger track, and we think that 2 inches on the Wicker Bill at Lee might be a little too much, so we're going to drop it down to our smallest one, which I think is 1.25 inches.
Yeah, just so people know, the Wicker Bill is just the
lip
at the back of the wing, essentially.
Yeah, just the lip at the back of the wing. And now we're just distributing bolts all over the floor.
What is going on here?
All right, so it's a mechanical fuel injection system. So it runs off a bunch of different parts. You have the barrel valve, which will turn, and that will open the secondary. And then there's a bunch of bleed offs as you go through the RPM range. What we need to do is make sure that none of these are hanging up. So we use the leak down tester. This is the secondaries on here. So this would be at low throttle, your transition up to around 3,000 RPM. And we throw the air to it, bring it up, and this one should start breaking free right now at about 20, 28, 26, 28. So that's good. That checks out real good. So now what I'll do is I'll pull it apart, clean it up, and put it back in just how it came out. So, and the reason I check them before is I check them to make sure that they're right, and I don't check them afterwards because I know my shims and my springs are right, and when I clean it up, everything's going to be good. I don't want the high air pressure to bother it or dry it out when I put it back together, so I'm just confident in cleaning it up real good and lubing it with WD-40. That's what we're doing. As methanol sits in the fuel system, it'll leave that white crud in there, and if that builds up inside there, it won't allow the fuel system to operate as normal. So this little thing goes in here, and that holds everything at a stop. So when we put things together, we got to make sure everything moves freely, and I'm going to clean that front nozzle out, make sure that that's right.
What you got there, Ryan?
This is a little tiny spacer that goes on the rear end. There's 2 different style gears we have. So if you go up next to Dennis, you can see the shiny ones up there are the thin set of gears, which are usually a little bit lighter. And the ones that I'm pulling out right now are considered a thick set of gears, so they don't need that shim in there. So
How the hell can you stay in that stink?
see the difference here? So you put that little tiny shim in front, and then you slide the gear on, It's the same thickness. So, what are you doing?
Just hanging out. You? So right now we're gonna clean the nozzles. Like I said, on the other side of the fuel system, methanol is finicky. Methanol makes a mess of everything. But with these nozzles here, they're a set size and the hole's really small down in there. So what we do typically is make sure I can blow through them, but then I'm going to come out to daylight after I blow the methanol out and see. I can see looking up into the bright sky. We got a little bit of crap down in the screen, so I'll grab my brake lane. Usually like using the red, but take the brake lane, spray it back through, get a little covered with it, spray it through, get in there, let that get anything that's down in there to break it loose. I blow it backwards. Double check it. Yep, whatever was in there is gone now, little guy. So then typically what I'll do is, as I'm putting these back in, throw a little WD-40 on the threads, which helps it sit in the housing. Two different materials metal wise, so if you don't and you put them in dry, they end up making a mess, and it's a pain. So that's number one. Let's go to number two.
Now, don't put square. What do you mean by it?
So we're going to check. Yeah, so we're going to put it on the ground. We'll pull this tank off so we can get at the motor plate, and we're going to check to make sure the back end is square to the motor plate, the rear end, and then we'll check the front axle, and we're going to run 1/8 inch of lead up in the right front. So the right front square to the motor plate has to go up a little bit. So we think that might be some of our push coming off of the corner. So we're going to check that out and see what that comes in at.
It wasn't smooth, but I got it done. You guys sure you don't want to do the lift of the motor up there? No?
No. We've already tried that game.
So basically what we're working on next, we got Ryan in the car, my dad's over here, loosening, tightening. I don't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing.
I think.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Stay off my lawn!
Yeah, he's not exactly sure what day it is. But what we're doing, we're timing the bird cages. So you'll see he's going to stick the level there against the flat spot of the bird cage, the rear axle, and we're making sure it's 90 degrees, you know, straight up and down when the car's at ride height. And since Ryan here weighs roughly the same as our driver, this'll give us a good starting point.
Hey, bird.
Little swan.
Bark, 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 bark.
I'm gonna use the little one.
Little shit.
So I'm not trying to reach around, get it set.
I'm not trying to give the car a reach around, huh?
Hit hold, 89.6. Okay.
It's not quite 90 degrees.
Not quite, we're close. So we'll go, I think just a quarter turn. Well, somebody went the wrong way. So which way did I go? No, I went the other way, right? Oh, yeah, so it's a quarter turn that way.
He's the fearless leader. Like we look up to him for the guidance. All right. Yep, flat face.
Okay, didn't move.
So we just rechecked that the rear axle was still square to the motor plate, and it was, which means old man still got it. Didn't move the axle when timed the bird cages.
Somewhere in their life they were 3/4. Bounce the front of the car. That as far out as you can get.
As far out as you can get.
Yeah, that's we're about even. What?
You okay?
Yeah. Well, this feels loose, but you just tightened it.
You can't walk around like. Okay, go ahead.
Here, it's with you, man.
Yeah, it was loose. It must have been when we did the axle, which sounds really bad.
Huh?
So it must have been when we did the axle 2 races ago.
Is that when you left it loose?
I didn't do this side. This is your side. But we definitely
That's your
didn't
word
go.
against mine.
Definitely didn't go through and
Your
renut
word
it.
against mine. No, Matt nut and bolted it after the axle because he didn't trust us.
Oh, on that one.
All right, guys, so that's all we have for you today. We're really just prepping for the Octoberfest at least. So, you know, we got a lot done. Let you talk about more of, you know, what we did.
All right, so like I said, coming off our best finish in almost 40 years for the Jim O'Brien and Sons Engineering, we're excited to do better. Took us 40 years to work off a checklist to make sure we're getting everything done. Just kidding. Changes that we're making, we squared the front end. We introduced a little bit of lead in the right front, so that right front's out there a little better. Try to fix the push center off of the corner. Made a change in the rear springs. Everything else you saw was just maintenance, the stuff that we have to make sure is working every single time. Later in the week when we can hook up with the driver, we'll set the ride heights and scale it, and we'll be ready to go on Saturday. You can check out the schedule we'll be racing at nemaracing.com. This is a NEMA Light, and later on you'll get to meet my brother, DJ's uncle, who runs a full NEMA car.
Kermit.
And you'll meet him. Not sure if you'll meet him this Saturday. But yeah, we're excited, just about ready to go, and we'll see you at the track.